Hi, and welcome to Tarot Time. And we're going to do the weekly tarot forecast, a weekly meditation card. I've got other divination tools. And welcome to October. And for those of you that are here watching this as a video, we will start in just a couple of moments. Sometimes we talk a little bit about current events and things going on in the world. So the weekly forecast can cover information that's affecting you personally or affecting this community at large or the world at large. And it's probably going to be a combination of the three. So let me say a few quick hellos and let's get started. So let's see. Jody's reminding us to don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, if you like it, please do that. And Mr. Floyd from Longmont, Colorado is in. Thank you so much. Hi, Anna. Hi, Doreen, Children's School of Yoga. She's going to be doing a chair yoga class here at 5 p.m. So I hope you guys can join us for a little yoga reset to kick off October. Hi, Roseanne. Hi, Nicole and Manic Mama. And hi, Michael and everybody. All right. Well, yeah, we'll catch you on the replay then. Thanks for stopping in. And hi, Colleen. And that's it so far. I think there's more people in that haven't commented. Hi, Claire, and hi, good morning, Star Seeds, and Angela and MT, and hi, Millie. Grand rising to you also. And all right. So, firstly, I'm going to call on all you prayer warriors in this community because one of our dear community members, niece, has gone missing, named Charlotte Senna from Moreau State Park near the capital region of New York. So she's presumed abducted. So let's say a lot of prayers that Charlotte is returned safely home very, very soon. And if anybody, if any of the other psychics just happen to get any information, feel free to share that. Maybe privately would be better. My email is info@atombetweentheworlds.com. So I just wanted to put those prayers out there. That she's safe and that that this will have a happy ending for everyone. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Susan. Hi, Rose. Hi, Judy, and anybody else that I missed. So we're in October. Today's the 1st, right? Last I checked, it's the 1st, right? It's Sunday morning. Cut me a little slack. But in any event, so after tarot time at 5 p.m. we have our yoga class with Doreen of Children's School of Yoga, and she's right here sending prayers to our children, to in this case Charlotte in particular. And she's not 9 years old and has kind of medium blonde hair or longer blonde hair. Yes, October 1st. Thank you, Doreen, for keeping me keeping me grounded here. So 5 o'clock, but at 7 o'clock, we do the monthly forecast. So October is a universal 8 month, which is Saturn ruled. There's 2 eclipses, lots of powerful energy, lots of powerful shifts. We've been saying this before every month for at least the last 6 months, but it keeps building upon each other. September was very, very active energetically as forecast. Unfortunately, a lot of flooding that was in the forecast. Fires, not, I didn't hear much, but that was another thing that was in the September forecast was for, but I think October there's going to be a little bit of an uptick and a lot changing in the world around us, in the structures of society. And that's what the eight Saturn ruled 8 energy is really, with the eclipses, really going to work on that, to try to assist in bringing down the facade that is the society that we live in order to rebuild in a vibration of authenticity and truth and power for the people, by the people, and everything that the I don't know what the right word is, not just the USA, but the civilized world. I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway, I think you guys get the idea. So hey, Mikkel, welcome. I saw you slip in as well. So what we like to do, start out with a meditation card, and Thank you for that, Mr. Floyd. Thank you for that, and thank everybody who's sending prayers for a safe return. I mean, considering what happened, and this is a client, a friend, and a community member here. Ternisa disappeared. I don't feel overly anxious. That's a good sign. I don't feel like this was part of the global child trafficking network. Fingers crossed, prayers for that. I think it's more of a local issue going on. So we'll see. I know the police have a couple of leads already, so we're putting the prayers out there. Anyway, that said, let's shift gears and do our meditation card for the week as chosen by Spirit through me. And and tarot is a really, really good meditation tool. In today's world, more people think of it, as divination and even fortune telling. We don't do that here because we recognize that timelines are fluid, and there is an element of free will that's kind of interplays with the with what's meant to be, or fate, if you will. So I believe in actually both, free will and predestination. I think that I think, like everything else in the physical universe, there's a duality or an interplay of opposites, that create reality. So in any event, for the meditation card, this will be some energy or frequency that we're meant to tap into this week and to expand, and it'll be sort of represented in the card that I pick. And the way that we meditate, or the way that I recommend meditating with tarot for the benefit of people that are new, that haven't heard this every week, they've been here every week, is that basically you get relaxed like any other meditation, clear your mind, get present. And you can use your deck if you have tarot cards, or mine. This is the Morgan Greer deck. And in your mind, you just step into the card like you're stepping through a door. And the first thing is, what do you feel when you step in through that door? Because you step into a new reality. It's a different vibration. So with a clear mind, clear heart, clear intentions, just gauge how you feel, what emotions come up, feelings in your body. And then look around, because the card is only a mere sliver of a panoramic view, a whole different world, a whole different dimension or reality that you step in. And you may meet with other beings, you may get messages, you may not, you may just get feelings, or you may see other things. But it's all meant to help you to augment your spirituality. We are in the spike of awakening. It's going to be ongoing for a few more years, and then we'll reach another pinnacle, and we'll worry about that when it comes up towards the later 2020s. But between now, certainly through 2024, a lot of people are going to be awakening. A lot's going to be changing in the world, as it is already beginning. So on that note, let's pull our card. Yeah, and thank you for all the prayers for Charlotte and Annie. Yeah, she went missing. They found her bike kickstand up, suggesting that she stopped to talk to somebody. So, anyways, but yeah, she's allegedly taken. We don't know that for sure yet, but that would seem to, everything seems to point in that direction, unfortunately. Yeah, it is awful. Yeah. It really is. Thanks, Mikhail, for your kind words. All right. So I need to stop thinking for a second so that Spirit can start to work through me to get the right card for you guys. Here we go. This one. Wow, I like this. Aces are new beginnings. So yeah, and you can see the reflection of my ring light. I still haven't solved the camera issue, so I'm relying on my it's a 2020 Mac that I have, but it still has a 2011 camera in it, so I need the extra light so that my image comes up, halfway decent, until I figure out how to, reconnect the camera to the live streams. Technology, not my forte. But anyway, this is a beautiful card. So the meaning is, this is about love. It's about opening the heart. Water is the element of emotions, of feelings, and stuff like that. So this is really good. So as you do your meditation, this may give you some insight into where your next new beginning that's going to bring you, greater emotional fulfillment's going to come. I mean, that could be a job or a friendship. It doesn't have to be a romantic thing. I think somebody's getting ready to give birth. So I think, yeah, and right now we have 25 people live. We generally get 300 thereabouts people watching tarot time at the end. So yeah, out of 300 people, somebody's going to understand a pregnancy or a birth. But if that happens to be you, it's a message for you also. And so again, this is the card. So just visualize, stepping in. What's inside the cup. What message do you have? Like maybe it's also a sign that a lot of us in our community have been doing some shadow work or some clearing, emptying our cup, so to speak, in order to refill it with better energy, cleaner water, basically, or purer nectar, or whatever metaphor you want to use for that. And just step in, and there's looks like a water lily here. I believe that is a water lotus, excuse me. And there's some water around that. Cups is the element of water. A few clouds, but it's also the actually the clouds are angel wings. They're not even clouds. So in any event, so that's a beautiful energy to start our October. The first card that I pulled in the month of October, I'm going to take that as a really nice sign and everything. And again, so step in the card, see what messages you get, or if not, just feel the energy of the Ace of Cups. So let's do a 3-card spread. I'm going to just peek at your comments for a second. I need these. So yes, so I think for Christine that's a sign, and also Mr. Floyd. Angela went to a baby shower, so that's a message for you also. And it's Susan's birthday, yes, and also Angela's anniversary. So what's wrong, you guys? Before I hear it, oh yeah, or either that or there's a delay on my end. Let's say hi, current comment. You guys are commenting really, 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 really fast, so I'm not keeping up that well. There's not that many people on live too for so many quick comments. I only have 26 on my screen. Oh, no, still 26. Well, it's a nice day. Last Sunday wasn't so nice. There's about 50 on the live stream. So a lot of you are obviously going to be here as a video. All right. Hello from Spain, Mary Rinaldi Healing. So what time is it? It's 4 p.m. in Spain now. Later afternoon, anyways. Happy anniversary, Mikel. Yes, yes. All right. This card want a good mix right now. That seemed to show me a card in my mind. It was the 9 of Wands. So that's a card of preparedness. So that'll be, even if I don't pick it physically, that'll have a meaning, which I'll explain in a second. So let me just clear my mind again. All right. This one. All right. I think I got my 3. Interesting. So these are the cards that I got for today. The Queen of Swords, all swords, which is interesting. I'm glad we got that Ace of Cups in the beginning. So we have the Queen of Swords, the 3 of Swords, the 9 of Swords. And this is a very emotional energy. Even though swords as a suit represents air and intellect, this is still giving me a very emotional energy. I do believe a lot of us that are here in this community are looking at some form of separation. That's often what the 3 of Swords is about. It's kind of like the swords penetrating the heart. I mean, if you look in tarot books, they'll talk about separation, tears, like all this challenging stuff. But swords can represent truth also and piercing the heart. I'm looking at more of a meaning of like uncovering truths in your life about people, about family that are important, but the hard, cold facts is the expression that comes up in my mind of what's going on in the world. I think more people are waking up, and I think that's a sign of that. And it also shows me, and I think this is more for one of the women, or several of the women. It's like don't hold yourself back due to like social values or programming. Can I just feel like there's somebody or some connection to someone, and he may be a Gemini or an air sign, maybe a Libran. Aquarius is the other air sign, or had those qualities. um but I just think you're somebody being called to think outside the box a little bit when it comes to like somebody that they may be interested in, or vice versa. But it's either, but intellectually it's the wrong fit, the wrong age or location, or something, something, that would be more of like a physical or a material issue rather than a spiritual one, I want to say. And spirit saying that's not exactly it, though. That may be part of it. I think it's more about taking a chance now, after being hurt in the past. Like like there's an interest in somebody. Again, it could be a friendship. It doesn't have to be romantic. um, but I think it's going to lean in that direction. So if anybody understands that's a personal message for you, because the Nine of Swords often comes up when there's like anxieties. It's holding ourselves back, because of fears, because of things of that nature, things along those lines. But I don't do that. The idea is to open the heart. So the sword, it's like the energy of truth kind of pierces the veils of like programming and conditioning, and self-protection, like armor around the heart chakra, that kind of a thing. And it's kind of almost like forcing you, or whoever this is for, or if this is for us as a community. It's sort of like forcing us to just trust our instincts, even if it's uncomfortable or different or new, or untried, or something along those lines. So that's one thing that I get. Another thing is, don't overthink things. Swords is very intellectual, and and know that everything's happening in divine order, and things need to fall. The facade on this whole society is coming down, and truths are being exposed, and that's likely to accelerate. And we're likely to get a lot of news. I'm seeing banks, I'm seeing the White House in my mind, for the Americans. Although what happens here tends to, have a ripple effect around the world also. So I mean, look at some of the financial stuff. I understand that for the time being, that they've avoided the government shutdown. And you may have noticed you haven't heard a word about government shutdowns on this channel, probably because Spirit wasn't telling me it was going to happen. At least for now, for the time being, they reached some. I think the president still needs to sign it. So I don't see that being a problem. I don't see the president of the United States saying, "Oh no, let's not sign this bill and let's let the government shut down." Somehow, I don't think that's going to happen. But stranger things have happened, especially in today's politics. Um, Speaking of which, don't allow yourselves to go into that dualistic right versus left, I'm right, you're wrong, all that mentality, because we're meant to clear that. We're meant to connect the community. Three, which is the main number, 3 and 9. Remember the 369 code. I'm actually going to film a video later about the 369 code for a week from Thursday. And um swords, and then the 9 of swords. So this is the 369, but 3 expands and grows. So there's a lot of learning. I think that for some of you, there's an active separation that's going on. It could be romantic, it could be family, it could be friends, it could be a number of things. But the thing is that I'm getting also for your personal messages is not to allow yourself to feel guilty or shameful if somebody else is you're trying to make you feel that way, or making it seem like you did something wrong and therefore they're acting or responding to something that you did wrong. I think the thing is we can't feel guilty or shameful. Yeah, we have to own what we do, and then apologize when it's appropriate, but we also have to recognize we are growing, evolving humans subject to errors. But I think in this case, it's more of a situation that you've been holding on to something or someone, and it's just not sustainable anymore because you're growing. They may not be growing or growing in a different direction. And it's time to part ways. Again, this could be a job, this could be an idea. I understand because Spirit is telling me right now that several of you are looking at leaving a so-called secure corporate type job or whatever to follow your dreams, and that's uncertain. You'll get rewarded. Spirit's not going to let you down. So there's been a lot of comments flying in. I want to just see if there's questions or what's coming on with that. Things are coming together and falling apart. Yes, that's blindly inspired. Love the master numbers. Family friend, I have a lot. Birthday wishes. Hi, Millie. Hi there, Mikhail. Sorry. We kicked the can for 3 months. Yeah, okay. Super Aries full moon to release those relationships. So that's very pertinent, yes. And then, Anna has a comment also on that. So thank you for that. Gemini moon. Okay, so that could be for you, yeah. You are, and Linda's Gemini, 33 in chat. We love the master numbers too. Went up to 36, so that's still a 369. Separation no longer serves. Yeah, that's the general theme. And because I'm so sorry to hear that, but that's in Christina today. Hi everybody, welcome. We always love it when you jump on these lives. So you can check out Christina's channel. She did an interview with us a while back. That was beautiful. That can was the government shutdown. Yeah, okay. It said I never, I knew it was in the news. I never peep here, and sometimes it's not planned. It's when I was doing my live streams, that information didn't come through, and I surmised that, like usual, that they were going to come up with a solution. Now that said, we have to watch out for the striking laborers, in this and other countries. We have to watch out for the floods. We've been talking a lot about floods. I mean, it doesn't take a psychic. We know the weather events are increasing. So there was a bad one in Greece. There's a bad one right in New York City. I had that vision in June, which I thought was going to happen in June, and it didn't. So that's part of being psychic, is sometimes the timelines don't always line up with what we're feeling. So forecast in June, but it happened in September. And then about 2 years ago, New York City got flooded out. And then 2012 in Hurricane Sandy, New York City got flooded out. So it's just the way, it's the earth, the earth adaptation to the changes. So couple things, since I'm talking about it, the poles are shifting, right? And the earth has to settle into the new kind of magnetic, flux, as it were. There's a lot of human activity that's altering the balance. The earth is a very, intelligent, aware, living system that's always going to try to restore the balance. That's what the physical universe is all about. It's the interplay of duality or opposites. And you transcend the physical reality when you understand that all opposites are one and the same. So that's when you evolve from the binary thinking, like zeros and ones, positive, negative, male, female, right, left, and all that stuff, to that 369 code, which is the energy. It's a frequency code, basically. So if you tap into the numerology 369, and we've got 3 and 9 right here, then you tap into the force of the universe that act on the binary code of the physical universe. And when you tap into that, then you tap into the force that created the physical universe in the first place. And if you can work with that, then you can inject these forces to manifest things in your physical life through energetics. So understanding that everything is really a quantum field, or there's a quantum reality that that powers the physical reality. It's what's happening inside the atoms, basically. Since I'm on this subject, I'll continue talking about it, the subatomic particles. And there's something called the observer effect in quantum physics, and there's I don't remember the name, but there's particles that are so small, maybe even smaller than electrons themselves, that can be that are almost like a fusion of wave and matter, or energy, wave or particle, I mean, or energy or matter. And matter is a form of energy, and energy, matter. They're connected anyways. But these particles can exist as either wave or particle, but they exist as particle when there's an observer. And when nobody's watching, when there's no one observing, it goes back to being a wave. So that's what the observer's effect is about. So what does that mean? Because the macro is always going to follow the quantum, though it's much, much slower because it's a very dense environment. Is that what you place your focus on, what you place your observation on, that's what's going to manifest in your life. So the more you focus on something, the more you manifest. So for those of you that are single, that want a partner, stop focusing on being single, because with the observer effect, you're reinforcing not having a partner. Hopefully that makes sense. But rather be like, everything is perfect in the moment. I'm whole and complete. I already have that perfect partner because he or she already exists. I'm just using one example. This could go in a lot of different directions, but I think you kind of get the gist of that. So when you go out in the world today, instead of focusing on the corruption, I mean, it's good to talk about it because we need to be aware. But instead of focusing on it, focus on a beautiful yellow autumn leaf and just feel grateful. Wow, this world is so beautiful. And every little thing that's positive that happens, just give thanks. So in other words, you're placing your awareness on something, and through the observer effect, you're enhancing the ability for more positive things to happen in your life. So anyway, and Nicole saying LOA, law of attraction, and Mr. Floyd saying spot on. So thank you for that. Well, I love quantum physics too. I mean, my understanding is very basic. I mean, in the 1970s, I studied a little bit of quantum physics. It's come a long way since that. Is it nanolights? Thank you. Yeah, I think that's what they're called. Nanolights. Thank you for that. And for 15 plus years. Yeah, and thank you. And Claire, subscribe to Christina Day. Thank you, Claire, for that. I know you won't be disappointed. So thank you so much. So what was I gonna say? Let me get back to the cards. Although I think I explained this enough. Be careful on the roads the next week or two. Because in my mind, I just saw like a big pile up in my mind. I mean, October, is notorious for early snowstorms, especially in the North Country. I don't know if that's it, but that just kind of popped up in my mind. And also take good care of your health too. There's a lot of energetic stuff that's going on, frequency attacks, for lack of a better word. I try to keep shungite in front of my technology because that helps disperse some of that. Now, there's a lot of programming. We know that we may not understand why it's happening. I mean, I think if you just take away all the conspiracy theories and conspiracy facts and just look at history and understand that human beings are still quite primitive and still very survival based beings, and you look at the last 1,000 years, there's always been a desire for dominion over others, for certain people to control the masses, basically. And there may be more to it than that, because we know we're a seeded species and we're connected to interdimensional or extraterrestrial intelligences. But that said, and I need a drink of water because I completely forgot where I was going with that. um, where was I going with that? Well. What I'm getting now is don't be afraid. Be aware, but don't be afraid. And just because they can use technology to try to program your mind, and they use the media and all other things, a lot of subliminal stuff, subtle things in photos, the way words are used, the inflections of the speakers. In other words, like the facial expressions and body language of somebody talking can be a form of programming, because our subconscious mind relates to all these little subtleties, even if we're not consciously aware. The thing is, be aware but not afraid. And the more you can be in your heart, so it always comes back to the heart and being coherent of heart. The more coherent of heart you are, that means your mind and your heart blend energetically, because naturally they are. It's just the negative programming that severs these two parts of the same whole. So our hearts are the largest electromagnetic generator in the body. The brain is the transmitter receiver, so they're connected, together. So the point being is that hearts cannot be programmed. Hearts know love, they know compassion, they know empathy, all that stuff. Gratitude. The more in your heart you are, it doesn't matter what they're doing out there. The more in your heart you are, the more resistant you are to that programming. So, don't go into fear. When you feel fear, go step back and take a deep breath and feel your heart open, and feel love, and understand that all emotions, came from love, just like everything came from God or spirit or source. But things like fear or anger and all that, it's our survival instinct as physical beings. It's just exploited against us to control the masses, basically. So we understand that, and we understand how to be in the heart and be able to resist that. Then we're going to be okay, and we're going to step up spiritually, and be able to help other people to awaken also. And well, that's basically what I'm getting from that. So swords can be strifeful. So, it may not necessarily be an easy week. I think a lot with governments and banks, because they keep showing me those images. Unfortunately, there's always a lot of violence out there. Not all of it's reported, but for some reason they were just showing me something like we'll just say violence that may come into a church or a place of worship or something like that. But the schools, it's a little bit redundant, because that's the world that we live in, unfortunately. So whenever we start to get super empathic with the world, or fearful about our own safety or the safety of the children, or things of that nature, stuff like that, go back into the heart, and it's a hard time. We don't want people to suffer, get displaced. There's with the wars, the climate change and all that. But we also have to understand that as a species, it's unfortunately a necessary step for our evolution. So we have to stay strong. Even if we see a lot of ugliness. I mean, I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit more turmoil around either Washington D.C. or the capital of some country. I want to say, I think that this is the beginning of a lot of political turnovers. It may affect Russia, Ukraine, and that part of the world also. And of course, that's by not even close to being the only war in town. It's the one that all of our attention is drawn to, and I feel like Spirit saying, and even that, we're not seeing what's really going on. So anyhow, let me move on. Let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah, and I feel like getting back to this Queen of Swords and all this energy, not to let your own your own fears of failure or traumatic experiences in the past, especially with relationships and friendships, to stop you, because there's an opportunity out there for many of you, especially the single people, obviously, of somebody that's the right fit on a soul level, but you may question if it's the right fit, and that's just due to programming and traumas in the past. I feel like this is going to tie in also to somebody whose father crossed over, or somebody that raised them that crossed over, at a younger age, also, that they haven't fully processed that. I want to say, although they may believe that they have, but haven't really fully processed that, and are just like holding back from recognition. All right, so the signal went a little bit unstable, so um, hopefully my image isn't faltering here. Safe, yes, good today. Yeah, and getting back at October through Russia count. Yeah, I was going to talk about that October 4th. Again, that's a good day to be in your heart, because there's sources. I forgot the person's name, but he's called a few things pretty accurately. That's talking about that this may be like a frequency attack, like an attempt of programming this October 4th event. So again, don't be afraid of that. Be aware, and the more in your heart you are, they're showing me a lot of metal. I mean, maybe keep your spirit mirrors up, or in other words, you're shielding up by visualizing mirrors around you that deflect negative energy back to the source. But more than anything, be in your heart, be in your power. The more in your heart you are, the less you can be programmed, even when they're using technology. So, at the very least, we can resist it. So, and Christine saying that we're good. Holy moly! I currently having a. Yeah, so this is hitting on a lot of you. Yeah. So, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with feeling fear or anger. Just recognize that that's where you're fearing, and step out of that emotion and back into your high vibes with the heart. This isn't about denial of your feelings, just to be clear. We need to recognize that, but we also need to understand that if we step back and observe our reactions, I'm sounding a little like Joe Dispenza right now, then you can step back and observe the programming, because our emotional reactions to our environment have been programmed into us from the moment we were born, basically. And, so then you can step back and observe the program in action, and awareness is the beginning of change. So there you have it. Yes, I'll be in the mountains on the 4th. Good for you. Yeah, I don't have a cell signal here where I live. And the 4th is what, a Tuesday? I mean, I'll be on the phone a lot because I'm doing readings for Mirabai. No, the 4th is a Wednesday, right? Today's the 1st. Yeah, 4th is Wednesday. Anyways, I'll be home. I'll be out of cell signal, although I still have a Wi-Fi signal I have to use. All right. Anyway, yeah, I don't want this to go on all day. By the way, for the people that they came in late, please, let's take a moment for some prayers for Charlotte Senna. She's a 9-year-old child that went missing yesterday evening around the capital area, and unfortunately, foul play is strongly suspected. So we're praying that she returns home safely. And her aunt is one of our community members. She's not in now, which is very understandable given what's going on in her family. So, anyways, thank you for that. I'm just hitting up the new people that didn't hear me early on. And thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you. I miss Christine. Oh, thank you for that also. Yeah. All right. So this is my Native American tarot. We're gonna see. I'll get a supplemental message here. I need to clear my mind. Yeah, something with waves. Waves of emotion. Ride those waves. and navigate them. The Weaver, we've gotten the Weaver before. 14, that would be the temperance. That would translate to temperance in the tarot, right? That's P14. Gosh, Sunday morning. But the Weaver, to me, that's spider medicine in the Native Americans, the life weaver. And this is a statement that this is a good time. We're still kind of in that full moon energy. By the way, there's a very powerful transmission from Archangel Michael and the Master Teachers available on the channel. So if you want to tap into that full moon energy that's still active for a little while longer, you can go to that. Since I'm on the subject, if you want to check out the latest upload about the spike in UFO sightings, the increase of extraterrestrial intelligences, the star beings contacting us, and what your starseed origin is, that's up on the channel also. We uploaded that Thursday. Well, I literally moved out of my house. It was very stable because of a stalker. Yeah, wow, a lot of synchronicities. Yeah. So maybe mentioning Archangel Michael, bringing Archangel Michael for that as well, and prayers for you as well. And Anna's saying that she had spider energy twice. Uh, Very good. The spiders do like me around here, and I feel bad sometimes because there's a spider, and this happened last summer also, last season, that weaves her web on my side view mirror on my car. Sometimes there's two, one on each side, and we have 4 cars in the driveway because I have neighbors nearby. None of them get that, just me. And then I've got all kinds of spider webs by my front door. So I definitely have spider medicine. It's the life weaver. It's a positive thing. So if you're getting a lot of spiders, it's time to maybe think about what it is that you wish to create in your life and start to first energetically build it. And that happens by being grateful that it already happened, just like how the Native Americans pray for rain and it always rains. And I had this experience myself, and I saw Greg Braden talk about this in an interview that the Native Americans say when we pray for rain, it always rains, but it's not because we're asking the Creator to make it rain, because all we're doing if we do that is we're reinforcing the lack of rain, but rather we feel the rain hit our skin, we feel the crops growing, we feel the trees thanking Great Spirit for providing the moisture, and we're grateful for the rain that's already falling. That's how you manifest, because we go into a field of energy and consciousness that created everything. And again, it's the observer effect. What we focus on, we're 95% subconscious. So most of us don't know what we're focusing on every day. But whatever it is, that's what we create in our life. The physical world has to match that. As they get more adept into quantum physics and even to some degree Newtonian physics, the more they understand this, the more they're going to see it just can't be any other way. Everything in physical reality would break down if that was not true. So anyway, hopefully that with all my explanations that's helping, because I'm kind of saying the same thing in many different ways. Interesting. I wanted to use my Kyle Gray deck, Angels and Ancestors, but they don't want me to use them today because they're not here. Sometimes my divination cards disappear into the ethers, and then they show up in a very obvious space later on. But what they did want me to do is use the Divine Abundance deck. Now, October is an 8-month in numerology. It's a universal 8-month. 8 is Saturn guided. And at 7:00 tonight, we're going to do the whole October forecast, including 2, not 1, but 2 automatic writing sessions where the master teachers came through to give us messages about navigating October. So 8 is Saturn ruled. It's also about wealth and money. So a lot of numerologists or people, when they think of the number 8, they think of money. But it's also about karma, because it's Saturn ruled, lessons, learning, growth, stability, or creating stability. Now, there's no stability in the physical world. So, again, that's an illusion. Just like this table being solid is an illusion, because it's 99.9999% empty space. And in that empty space, electrons fire one 100th the speed of light, which I'm not going to do the math, but suffice it to say that's very, very fast. I think an electron could circle the world in 17 seconds. That fast, or I think I read that or heard that or learned that somewhere. Point being is that it's all a big illusion, um, and I lost my train of thought in my explanations. That means I need more water. So I'm sort of leading into comparing to something else that's an illusion in our lives. It has something to do with the number 8, but anyways, all right. Anyways, at 7 o'clock, we're doing the live stream. All right. Interesting. This lines up because loss, and then we have the 3 of Swords. I think Spirit is telling us we need to accept loss right now. Loss is gain. Nothing ever really dies or ends. Yeah, and it's all an illusion in a way. And then riding the waves, the man is saying she's a number 8. And so that's correcting me. 7 seconds, not 17 seconds. Either way, very, very fast. Asking me how I've been sleeping. Last night wasn't bad. For the most part, I'm not sleeping a lot lately. So loss. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego. So yeah, so I think that's a message, especially because the 3 of Swords, which is a separation card, came up. So I think we have to accept loss as a part of gain. I want to say as well, and you accept everything in the physical as an illusion. Just like I was saying with the table. It's just how we perceive it. It's just through our human operating systems how we perceive it, basically. Um, so moving right along, let's do our frequency for the week with the sacred geometry cards. Number 8 is karmic. I have Saturn, the rules number 8, in my 12th house within a degree of my ascendant. So, I understand these karmic, lessons, that eighth life has may be involved in. I mean, we all are to greater or lesser degree. Anyhow, so this is the card that I got. Authority 10. So 8 is Saturn. That's a very authoritarian energy also. So I think a lot of things I'll show you the card in a second, but I think a lot of things are pointing in the direction of questions, shifts, and abuse of power, being more exposed, through authority figures like the governments and all that kind of stuff. And then Christina's Dreamweaver. What's his name? Gary Wright that did Dreamweaver. Oh, okay. So light travels the Earth. But there's 7 times in 1 second. So if we're talking about 1/100th the speed of light, that's how fast an electron. So that's 700 seconds. I don't care by any other name. That's still really, really freaking fast. Anyhow, so authority, the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. So again, true authority isn't about dominion over others. It's about compassion. You're leading with compassion. We need compassionate leaders. So lead your own life with compassion. Don't self-criticize or thinking that there's something wrong with you. If you made a bad decision, we all did, or somebody else is telling you, that you're a narcissist or whatever. It used to bother me when I was younger that people said that I was selfish. Now that I'm older, I'll thank them. It's like, yeah, I'm selfish. I'm not selfish in the way that I'm going to ignore my responsibilities and go to a bar and drink all night and say screw you to people that matter. I'm selfish in the way that I'm going to take care of myself first and foremost. That way I'm better and there's more of me to take care of you at the end of the day also. So that's like directed energy. Have the authority over your own energy and how you direct your energy into the world. and not to let other people guilt you and shame you, call you selfish or whatever, or whatever, it's subconscious, but it's a very common tactic. The governments use it also. um I'll use various vaccination programs, and I don't have an opinion on what you should do with your own body. That should be your choice, as long as, being selfish, you still have to be considered towards others. So balancing those two forces anyway. Um, but but the but the point being is that you have authority over what you put into your own body, whether it's a vaccine, whether it's different foods, different medications, all that stuff. And when you really have that ownership, you can tap into these higher forces, and by doing so, you can actually like change things physiologically also. That's how I healed autoimmune disease that they say was unhealable, but apparently it's not. uh Hard for Libra to be selfish. Well, in my selfishness, I'm still very considerate. I'll put it that way. It's a good selfishness. Thank you for that. And the blind leads fire, saying compassion for self, better. Yes, it's not really being selfish if you're caring for yourself, because then again, oh, I'm having. Oh, you will, Anna. You'll love her channel also. Yep. All right, all right. So the idea here, is just gaze in the center of the card for a minute, just absorb that the energies, and then you absorb the whole, like, energy of authority. So again, I think these messages are all really pointing to governments, authority figures, and people in your life are going to probably try to dictate your actions, your feelings, your thoughts, and all that stuff. Be aware of that. Be open, receptive, but stay in your heart, stay in your power, and make your own decisions about your own life and your own direction. Sometimes we have to recognize, that there are consequences to our own decisions, and we have to be willing to learn and grow also if we do make a mistake. But that's sort of the idea with that. Yeah, thank you, Anne. I am a Libra, and I can be like that to a fault. But sometimes when you say to a fault, that's being selfish. If I'm considerate to a fault, that basically means that I'm a people pleaser. That in other words, that my mentality is like I want to be, come off being selfless, or please the other person at my own expense. So we have to, again, we have to balance that. Librans are notorious for that, and one of the reasons that I've been able to heal is that I'm not that way anymore. I used to be taking on everybody else's energy. You wonder why I was sick most of my life. Doesn't take a genius, right? um, anyway, moving right along here. So we have our totem animals for the week. Uh, yeah, we're in the Libran energy now. Yes, we are. And Anna's saying, her son's Libran and way too forgiving sometimes. Yeah, everything in balance. That's the Libran energy. Everything in balance. There's times to be forgiving. There's times to be times to be unforgiving. I'm thinking of the Birds. The band, the Birds. The song "Turn, Turn, Turn," which my martial arts teacher, the Master Leo Gahe, who is like the grandmaster of the system of martial arts I study, it's Filipino art. He loved that song just because of the line, "There's a time to kill, there's a time to heal." And then in martial arts, one day, I went, was getting my private lessons from my teacher, and he looked at me and said, if you're going to learn these techniques that can hurt people, maim people, and kill people, you need to learn how to heal people also. And then he started to teach me about energy healing, which I thought was really, really cool. So yeah, there is, unfortunately, sometimes there is a time to kill, whether that's a symbolic killing, or even a literal one. But there's also time to heal. So we have to be present, and not in our own stories again, not in our own egos, whether it's being a people pleaser and our mentality geared towards pleasing the other people or whatever it is. and discern what time is it now. Is it a time to kill, or is it a time to heal? Is it time to be selfless and considerate, and really, you know, step out of your own comfort, or even compromise something in your own life to help the other person? Or is it time to really focus on yourself? Yeah, and again, that's a matter of being in your spirit, being in your power, and in your intuition, and not allowing outside forces, or your programming to make the decision for you, but rather connecting to your spirit and higher self, and making that decision through higher energy. All right. Clearing my mind. Let's get our animal totem. I'm seeing a dolphin. I'll see what I pick. Well, I didn't pick a dolphin, but I pulled a bear, and bears are very introspective. And although I want to say, bears are getting ready to go into hibernation, but in our area, bears don't fully hibernate anymore. They may go in for around December through February, but they don't really hibernate the way that they used to. But this is about going into the cave of introspection and looking within. So with bear medicine, every autumn, when we come into the dark season, the bear goes deep into the cave, into the womb of Mother Earth, to be reborn, to digest the lessons of the past, in order to come out in the spring with new goals, new challenges, new experiences, basically. So through this totem animal, it's our time to go within, and to assimilate what we've learned already. And that's very succinct with the fall season. Now, so the reason they show me a dolphin, I think, because dolphins are really about mana, breath. We're doing yoga at 5, by the way, speaking of mana, with Doreen here, chair yoga, bring a chair. So maybe it's also saying, because that flashed in my mind, a reminder, this is a good time to really do some breathing exercise, especially release. Inhale, embrace love, embrace everything, even the negative. Exhale, and then release it. Then inhale, exhale. Long, deep breathing. The 3x3 method, I kind of coined that, although long, deep breathing, everybody does it. But the way that I do this, and tell you guys to do it, you get relaxed for 3 minutes at a time, 3 times a day. When you inhale, you feel the love and the light of the universe. You feel your heart open, your heart light, and the love of the universe blend, and you draw that love and light of the universe into your heart, circulate that around. And on the exhale, just consciously release any stuck energy, cogs, stuff from the past you don't need anymore, other people's energies, the stresses of society. Just 3 minutes at a time, 3 times a day, can make a big difference. And you're like, 9 minutes can make a big difference. And you know what? Spirituality is simple. Humans are complicated. There's nothing complicated about spirituality. Know that you're already spirit. That's all you need to know. How can you be more spiritual than being spirit? You cannot. So spirituality, as J. Krishnamurti and Bruce Lee, talking about martial arts, taught us, and many other teachers, that spirituality is a matter of daily decrease, not a matter of daily increase. Shed the programming, shed the layers, shed other people's energy, so you can discover who you truly are, and that is spirit. And bear medicine will help you with that. So no, I didn't go off on a tangent. That's really part of the meaning of the card, believe it or not. Adam go off on tangents. Nah, never will happen, right? It's good when you can laugh at yourself before others laugh at you. That's one of my mottos. Laugh at yourself. That way others won't laugh at you, or if they do, it won't have any power over you because you've already laughed at yourself. So anyhow, this is the angel therapy cards from Doreen Virtue that I'm working with now. And we got Archangel Raphael. So it's also a healing time, apparently, according to the archangels, according to the angelic forces. The healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. So that's a good message to end on. This is a time for healing. So, again, getting back to the main tarot card, I'll bring these up for the latecomers. And by the way, if you came in late, this will be an upload as a video. You can watch the whole thing in a moment. Separation. Sometimes the sword's about anxiety, strife, worries, fears, and all that stuff. And and the Nine of Swords is bound. Um, so basically, you don't get bound by your fears, and how do you do that? Well, you can't will yourself to not be afraid. All you're going to do is focus on the fear, but rather just focus on your heart, and feel your heart expand, and focus more on the vibrations of love, joy, compassion, gratitude, and all that stuff. And just to reiterate, and we're going to talk about this at 7. That's when the monthly forecast is going to be here on the channel, the October forecast, including the channel messages. So just a little bit of a sneak preview. One thing they want us to do is, every time we go out, every moment we think about it, find something to be grateful for. The fact I have a ring light that works now. I had to get a new one. I'm grateful for that. And it's, through the observer effect, if we get into the habit of doing that, then we start to create more to be grateful for. So it's what we notice. That's proven in quantum physics through subatomic. Um, anyway, I already explained that. I'm explaining the same thing over again. You guys get that. Um, I'll flash one more comment. Um, and Millie, oh, interesting. Historically, I never had good relationships with people whose sun is in Libra. And my Mars and Mercury both. That's interesting. Yeah. And Michelle's saying, I love people that laugh in themselves, don't take themselves too seriously. Yeah, I think that's really the key. And I was chatting about Archangel Raphael in the beginning. Well, Archangel Raphael must have been listening to me. And was Susan, oh, love you too, and everyone here. So grateful for this community. Again, 5 o'clock yoga, 7 o'clock the October psychic forecast. So October 1st is a spiritual trifecta day here on the Medium channel. I love you. See you next time. See you 5 maybe or 7.